Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar, How LOLA Disrupts Personal Care with Personalized Direct-to-Consumer Experiences. Thanks for joining us. I'm Samantha from Glossy, and I'll be your moderator. Today's webinar is sponsored by Kustomer, the modern platform for omnichannel customer experience. They combine everything you know about your consumers with powerful workflows, so your team can deliver faster, more proactive service. That's why companies like Glossier, Rent the Runway, Outdoor Voices, Ring, and more trust their most important relationships to Kustomer. If you're live tweeting along with us today, use the hashtag LOLAXCustomer. A question and answer period will follow the presentation, so please stay with us until the end. Feel free to submit questions at any time via the GoToWebinar panel. Everyone who registered for today's webinar will also receive an email with a recording of the session tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. We're joined today by Caroline Bell, Senior Manager, Customer Strategy and Operations at LOLA, and Stacy Dolchin, Senior Manager, Marketing Programs at Kustomer. Caroline leads the customer team at LOLA. Graduating with a BA in Economics from Brown University, she spent a few years working in consulting before finding her passion in startups. Caroline has worn many hats in the LOLA team as one of the early team members. She's currently leading the customer team to deliver best-in-class service and be trusted advocates for LOLA's community. Stacy Dolchin is the Senior Manager of Marketing Programs at Kustomer. After traveling the world with Semester at Sea, she graduated from University of Alabama with a BS in Marketing and moved to New York City, where she's been contributing to marketing teams at various tech startups. Okay, let's get started. Stacy, take it away.
Yeah, thanks so much. This is Stacy here. I'm personally very excited to be hosting this webinar. I'm a huge fan of the LOLA brand, but for those that are not as familiar, Caroline, can you tell us a little bit about LOLA?
Absolutely. Excited to be here as well. So LOLA is the first lifelong brand for a women's body, offering transparency and candor she deserves when it comes to the products and content for reproductive health. What we aim to do is address every change a woman goes through during her lifetime, from puberty to menopause and every stage in between.
And who came up with the idea of LOLA, and can you tell us a little bit about your founders?
Absolutely. LOLA was founded by Jordana Keir and Alex Friedman in 2015 with the simple and seemingly obvious idea that as women, we shouldn't have to compromise when it comes to reproductive health. The idea all started with tampons. Like with most women, our founders had been using the same feminine care brands since they were teenagers and found out that those brands weren't required to disclose exactly what's in their products, which made them wonder what is actually in our tampons. And if we care about everything else we put in our bodies, then feminine care really shouldn't be any different.
Okay, great. And you know, LOLA is certainly disrupting the personal care space. So what sets LOLA apart from all of these legacy brands?
LOLA is one of the first companies to have disrupted the outdated feminine care industry, and we're really proud to have shaped a broader conversation about women's health since we launched in 2015. It really stemmed from a simple idea that women should have that visibility into their products, and it started with tampons, but now it's so much more. We've really become a lifelong brand for women's body, both in the products that we're offering and the content that we share with women on our blog, the broadcast. And, you know, as a brand founded by two women encountering new phases in their own reproductive lives, LOLA is committed to evolving with our customers to deliver the products and the resources that they need throughout their reproductive life cycle.
Great, thank you. So one of the things that I, respect most about the LOLA brand is the commitment to challenging this stigma around reproductive health, and in turn really empowers women. So anyone out there that follows LOLA on social media, you'll see everything from, blog posts full of information, sometimes very serious and sometimes very funny. And they have podcasts and they do surveys. They even have like girls' lounges at a lot of industry events, which really encourage women to discuss their reproductive health out in the open. So what do you think is the company's strategy behind this movement?
Yeah, and I actually think this picture is one from our Instagram. But in terms of strategy, it's really about empowering women to make decisions about their health. Lola is so much more than a feminine care brand. Our mission really is to empower women with information so that they can take control and think critically about the products they're purchasing and putting in their bodies. One thing specifically we're trying to do is dismantle some of the stigma that surrounds reproductive wellness and also foster a community based on candid dialogue. We, when talking to our customers, we address questions and the needs that they have by driving real, honest, and productive conversations about things that we typically don't talk about.
Yeah, definitely. So, we've kind of discussed this, but personal care is, of course, personal, yet, the Lola brand has been able to gain the trust of their customers and build real relationships with them. So how do you create that personal connection, especially as a digital first brand?
Absolutely. We receive over 1,000 emails per week from customers, many about very personal topics, finding they often come to us with questions regarding feminine and reproductive care before inquiring with a doctor. And our team really goes above and beyond to make sure our products are there for women when they need them. So we've had many emails from customers where it's a frantic note. They're leaving town, they are about to get their periods, they need our help. And so we've done everything from Uber rushing tampons to arrive at someone's hotel when they were in town for a funeral, to overnighting condoms to someone so it would arrive in time for her honeymoon. And we're really proud that our customers trust us to provide them products and information during some of the most intimate moments and personal moments in their lives. And this ongoing relationship is really at the core of Lola's brand.
Yeah, great. So back in March, we had a Future of Retail event, and Alex, one of your co-founders, gave some really amazing examples of the appreciation that you commonly receive from your customers. I was wondering if you had any news stories that you could share with us.
We have lots of stories. A couple of my favorites. One was that our customers actually do help us think about what products they need and we should provide for them. So that ongoing dialogue helps play a major role in product development. In one instance, we posted a video of our founders where they were talking about their first period story and how awkward that moment can be. And we had a ton of moms reach out via email, via phone, to ask if we offered products for their teens, saying their daughter was about to go through this moment. And these inquiries really drove the development of our first period kit, which there's a picture of in the webinar slide. And one mom even later emailed us photos of her daughter unboxing the kit and discovering the stickers and the pouch and all the little informational cards. So that was really cool to have our customers engage with us and have that dialogue around what products they need around key moments.
Yeah, definitely.
I can share another example from very recently, also in terms of kind of the product launches. We launched a new category in May, Sex by Lola. And for this launch, we sent 100 loyal customers a mailer with all the new sex products, which is really fun to delight people when the package arrives on launch day. And they see the announcement and then they get the package. And one woman even emailed us to say that she loved the products so much, and as a single mom, they had inspired her to start dating again. So we're rooting for her.
Yeah, that's such an awesome story.
Yeah, and so in addition to kind of around products, we also do it around moments where we know customers might experience some disruptions in the service. And we typically always do this around holidays, since often major shipping carriers are closed, and that can lead to delays in packages. And since periods are sensitive around timing and to make sure that the order arrives in time, we email our customers and offer to process their order a week early to make sure that it doesn't get caught in holiday delays. We did that this past week. Since July 4th is coming up, we emailed thousands of customers. We got hundreds of responses back, an outpouring of love. A lot of people remarked that they had never received this kind of notification from another retailer, and just felt really good that we are here looking out for them.
Yeah, that's great. And I think that's a really great segue into our next slide. So, in order to create these lifelong relationships with your customers, you need to see a full view of their history with the brand. So, Caroline, how are you utilizing the customer platform to build these relationships?
Customer feedback truly reinforces our business strategy and model, as I spoke a little bit about from the product side, but it's so vital how LOLA operates as a brand, and we're really grateful for tools like Kustomer that help us ensure the strength of these relationships. In particular, Kustomer structures conversations as a timeline, so we're able to see all interactions with a person. For example, if they wrote in today, we could see their last email to us was last month, and maybe they were writing in about the same thing. So they're still experiencing that issue, or they still need help with that particular thing. That enables us to see both past conversations and past subscription and order information, which as a subscription business, it's extremely useful in making sure that we have all the information to best service our customers. And lastly to that, to building relationships, I would say our community grows every day, but it's really important that our customers receive the same kind of attention that we have been able to provide since day one. And customers' tools not only provide this focused experience, but they help us kind of streamline and organize our communication with customers through things like multi-channel options, bulk replying to people, which makes all of our CX processes more efficient.
Awesome. Oops. Okay, so next, I was just wondering, what made you decide to make a switch for your CX team to the Kustomer platform?
Great question. And we switched earlier this year. Our previous platform didn't link to our backend system that had all the order and subscription data. As a result, when an email came in on that previous platform, we didn't have a lot of context on the customer's order history or their subscription details, and it required switching platforms, having a ton of tabs open in your browser, going back and forth, which was really time intensive for the team. And since many of our customer inquiries are related to subscription management, it was really critical to have that information all in one view and link the data into our customer service platform. And then the other thing is that our customers, when they also reach out very often on all of our social channels, and those inquiries were previously hosted separately from email, phone, and chat. And we realized that in a truly omni-channel world, customers are switching across those platforms fluidly when talking to brands. They would send us a DM and then follow up over email and then maybe give us a call. And being able to communicate with them wherever they are and wherever they want to communicate with us is really essential.
So here is kind of an example of, the customer interface specifically for a subscription company. And Caroline, would you mind walking us through what we're seeing here and tell us, a little bit about how easy it is for you to make adjustments to your customers' orders?
Absolutely. So just to orient everyone to what you're looking at here, this is a view of a customer. In this example, you can see the name of the person up top, and then you can see kind of their most recent email, where is my order, and then below that you can see all their previous messages. So the last time they reached out and said they put in the wrong delivery address, the previous object is actually the order itself. So you have all the information in one place. And then on the right is some details about that person, which you can customize. And then context cards, which were something that customer helped us build specific to the LOLA system. So what's really special about these is that our team can take the top couple of actions directly from within customer. So clicking the modify button opens the customer subscription. You can edit the frequency, the products they're getting, really anything that a customer would want to do to their subscription, you can do by clicking on one of those buttons. That has allowed us to move obviously a lot faster by taking action there. And then not pictured, but another benefit is that you can set up searches based on order history. So for example, in this instance, you can see the order object at the bottom. We do have a specific search where if a customer emails us and they've placed an order in the past 24 hours, it goes into a special search, or some people might know it as a view, where that is a high priority view and our team knows that those people need help immediately.
Okay, great. And then moving on to omnichannel. So there's a lot of talk out there about being omnichannel. You know, and what that means here at Customer is being able to seamlessly switch between channels and being able to serve your customers wherever they are. So are you seeing the advantages of utilizing this omnichannel platform?
Yes, absolutely. We touched before on how we have integrated some of our social channels. We've brought in both Twitter and Facebook DM, which are connected, so that allows us to easily switch between email, phone, chat, and those social channels to reach our customers. As you can see in the little video here, an agent can go in and just click and change, you know, maybe this was email and then they want to switch to phone because we want to text them or call them. And so if somebody chats us and we miss it, for example, we can always email them back. Or if someone calls us and they ask for the link to their tracking, we could just email them with a link to their tracking. So it makes switching between platforms really easy. And in a world where customers are switching across platforms fluidly, being able to communicate with them wherever they are is essential.
Yeah, great. So I know you touched a little bit about bulk messaging and proactive service. Have you used this this feature recently?
Yes, we use it pretty frequently. I'm happy to share an example. So in March, our subscription management page experienced a brief outage. It was, you know, as a subscription business, it was a pretty crazy time. And thankfully, our customer integration manager, Christina, was available and helped us create a great workflow based on keywords. So we picked a couple keywords like skip, modify, created searches for customers who were using those words. And then we were able to bulk message thousands of customers at a time, which was truly a lifesaver, because thanks to that bulk message send, we were able to handle about 5 times our normal volume and really, you know, handle it within a typical response time.
Yeah, great. So I'll just show a quick video of kind of how this works. So basically you can run the search, pick all the customers there, and easily drop a message in and this case we send it by SMS. And you know, as Caroline said, you can just easily send your customers updates using our bulk feature. And then Caroline, if you could just share a little bit about the results you've seen by switching to customer, that would be great.
Sure. So we've seen great results since switching. Our median first reply time has decreased by 25%, even though we've continued to see inbound volume increase. So we're getting more messages, but we're able to handle them more efficiently. And overall agent efficiency is up to about 15% due to the combination of customers UX, being able to see all of the history of a customer in their timeline, and the integration with our backend platforms that we touched on earlier. Having those specific context cards, it's really helpful for agents to avoid switching back and forth across platforms.
Yeah, definitely. And then lastly, before we move to Q&A, just would love to hear some of your favorite features of the platform.
I have a couple. The timeline is definitely one of my favorites. I think particularly as a subscription business, when you're developing relationships with customers over a long period of time, you really want to know when they've written in before and what they care about, and any issues they've experienced in the past. So having that timeline view allows us to have a real conversation history with our customers. In addition to timeline, search has been really helpful. So being able to create those searches or views. When we sent the email to customers, notifying them, asking them if they wanted us to process their July 4th order earlier. Of course, all of a sudden we started getting hundreds of emails back. And so I quickly just created a search. Any email that was open that had that subject line went into a special search, and our team was able to segment those out and then very quickly handle them while still seeing, what other volume was in the normal inbox. So that's helpful just for workflow purposes. And then obviously bulk messaging, which we touched upon. Anytime there's a situation where people are emailing in about a very similar topic, instead of having your team go through and answer inquiries one by one, you can send them all a note at once and let them and give them an update. So that feature is definitely cut down a lot on the response time, which leads to overall kind of greater efficiency and team productivity. The team feels really great about the switch to customer, and the support that we've had from the customer team in setting everything up specific to LOLA and our customers. So it's been a great transition for our team.
Okay, great. And then with that, we'll move to Q&A.
Great, thank you, Caroline and Stacy, for all of your great insights. Just a reminder for all of our attendees, the full recording of the webinar will be made available to you in a follow-up email tomorrow. Let's move on to the Q&A portion of the webinar. And remember, you can submit questions at any time through the GoToWebinar panel. All right, so let's start off with this one. How did LOLA decide on a new CX platform, and was it difficult to switch?
Good question. I would like to say that it was a perfect process where I researched every single platform out there, but as everyone in startup world knows, that's not always the reality. We actually had a lot of friends who were using and switching to customer, specifically the team at Glossy, who had switched a few months before and seen really great efficiency. So I saw they were kind enough to walk me through it, and I reached out to the customer team, had a number of demos, and we moved forward. In terms of how difficult it was to switch, it was surprisingly easy. We had a wonderful integration manager who got on a call with me every week. We would go through the steps, talk through any questions. Overall, it was a very seamless transition.
Awesome.
Cool. So next question would be for customer. So does customer work with any other subscription or D2C brands?
Yeah, we work with a ton of subscription companies, Bespoke Post, BoxyCharm, Material World, MakeSpace, Rent the Runway, Kettlebell Kitchen. If anyone's not familiar, really great. I've been doing it for almost 2 months now, and I'm loving it. Trade Coffee is a new one of ours. So yeah, we have a pretty good footprint in subscription. And I think you saw from Caroline's explanation of the context cards how easy it is to kind of stay on top of it and make sure there's no churn there.
What other brands have inspired LOLA's approach to CX and your message in general?
We have a number of other startups that we've spoken to, about CX and how they've best provided support to their customers. In particular, the Warby Parker team, Harry's, Everlane, Dollar Shave Club, Glossier, Bonobos. I mean, there's a lot of folks in the CX community who have been so generous with their time and their insights. And I think our message in general, it's both hearing from other teams what's worked, but mostly also trying to tailor that to the LOLA brand. Teams are probably really quirky and fun and funny. Some are more serious, but it's really we've tried to always, be that informed friend or older sister or confidant that our customers could turn to for advice.
All right, so this is a question for Lola. What has your ongoing relationship with customer been like?
It's been great. I mean, we're all based in the New York area. I've actually run into the customer team going to grab lunch one day, so it's nice to be nearby. Stacey referred to this before, but one of our founders spoke on a panel earlier in the year. We've hosted the customer team in the LOLA office. Our integration manager came to visit us in person from the West Coast, which was awesome. We probably speak with the customer team at least on a weekly basis. One nice thing about customer is they also have live chat built into their platform. So if you need to chat the customer team and ask for support setting up a search or a workflow, they're on chat and you can shoot over a quick question.
I would ask, how is customer different from ticket-based platform?
Yeah, so I'll take that one. So, customer, we use the customer as the atomic unit on the platform. So there's a lot of other systems out there, mostly that use tickets. So with customer, as we talked about, everything is in almost like a Facebook-like timeline. So you can scroll through and see all of the interactions that your customer is having with the brand. Caroline mentioned before that she, with her other system, had a bunch of tabs open and had to switch from one to the other, and none of them were talking to each other. So that's really the main difference between a ticket-based and a customer-based platform.
This is a question for both of you, actually, I'd say. Do either of you have any advice for new and upcoming brands who want to deliver a great experience?
That's a great question. My thought would be to consider what role customers play in your organization. One thing I think we've done a really wonderful job of is surfacing customer feedback to the whole business. So for example, after we launched our Sex by Lola line, that day, our team sent an an email to the entire LOLA team with quotes and kind of early feedback. What are the top 3 questions we're being asked? And we did the same thing after a week and after a month. And so we're making sure that not only are we answering our customers' questions, but we're also making sure that the rest of the business hears those questions and issues and concerns and is helping us to make the customer journey better wherever possible.
Besides the CX platform, how do you interact with your customers? How do you increase customer loyalty and bring in new customers?
Well, while we can't share our special sauce, we leverage a lot of different activations, including social media, community events, and partnerships and activations that we think our customers will love. For example, LOLA actually just turned 3 this month. And for our 3rd birthday, we had an ice cream truck that we drove around New York and offered free ice cream to everyone who stopped by and had samples of some of our products for the community to try. And it was really cool for the whole LOLA team to engage with our customers and to chat with them in person. And so we definitely try to get out, from behind our desks and interact with our customers whenever we can.
Where are you looking to grow or improve your experience the most over the next year?
In terms of improving our customer experience over the next year, one thing that we're really working hard on is the proactive communication to customers. And some other CX folks on the line might gasp because in proactively reaching out, we know that we are creating more volume for the team to handle, but every time we have proactively alerted our customers of a potential issue, for example, that there might be delays over a holiday or there's a weather-related problem, a hurricane impacting their zip code, customers have been so grateful that we are really looking out for them, trying to get their order to them early, trying to expedite it if needed, and making sure that they're having a really great experience with LOLA, even during times that we can't control. So I mean, in sum, we want to do more proactive outreach and really help our customers have the best possible experience with their LOLA subscription.
Thanks so much, Caroline and Stacey, for all those great answers and insights. Do either of you have any final words or thoughts that you'd like to share before we wrap up?
Yeah, I mean, this is Caroline. My final thought would be, obviously, it's a big decision to move your whole team from one customer service platform to another. I'm happy to chat with anyone who wants to reach out. And I encourage people to look into Kustomer, speak with their team, get a demo of the features. Like I said, for us, it's really been a game changer, and as scary as switching can be, I think pretty immediately after the switch we saw benefits, and not only from my perspective but from our agents' perspective. It's a much better tool to help our customers, and so I think that it's really helped set us up for success.
Yeah, and just lastly, here at Kustomer, we're very customer centric, and we want to help the companies we work with have the best possible customer experience. So, feel free to come to the website, reach out, send me a message. I'm happy to talk to anyone about, improving their customer experience and how you can work with our team.
Great, thanks so much for all of that. For everyone else listening in, if you have any other final thoughts or questions that you'd like to ask, please feel free to tweet using the hashtag LOLAXCustomer. All right, so thanks again to Caroline and Stacy, and of course to Lola and our partner customer. And thanks to all of you for joining us today. We hope you learned something. Keep an eye on your inboxes tomorrow for a link to the recording, which you can watch on demand. Thanks again, and please enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks. Have a good one.